Just check it. Yep, awesome. It's on. Ooh, that might be move this a little bit. Welcome today to Wu Style Tai Chi. Welcome to my channel. I'm Sifu Tex. I do traditional martial arts, Chinese Kung Fu, Mijong Lawhorn Kung Fu to be specific, Wu Style Tai Chi, and Fu Style Bagua. Lately, I've been doing a series on, I want to introduce more Bagua or more Wu Style Tai Chi to the world. So I've been doing a lot more Tai Chi lately on my live stream. And so I've been started this series to continue on with teaching Wu Style Tai Chi, Qigong, and just some really general Tai Chi stuff too. So I hope y'all enjoy it. I welcome everyone to our class, and let's get started. So the first thing that I start with is Qigong. Qigong is an internal exercise that helps us cultivate, which cultivate isn't really the best word, but helps us cultivate our Qi and feel internally our Qi while enhancing our, our Qi. We have a couple different types of energies, right? We have our emotional energy, we have our spiritual energy, and then we have our life force, our Ji. And so we want to cultivate and have the most healthy qi that we can. And doing qigong and neigong help us get internally more powerful too. So let's go ahead and work on our qigong first. So what I want you to do is take your left foot, then you're going to take your right foot, turn it into a T. Now I want you to move your foot all the way over in that spot here with the feet facing forward. And the first thing that we're going to do is we want to get nice and relaxed because Tai Chi is supposed to be about movement with as little muscular force as possible too. Now what we first want to do is go ahead and swing our arms. We're going to turn and swing nice and loose. Okay, the beats have to come off. It's okay. Let's do this. All right, for now. And if you notice when I swing, I let the hands flop and I'm slapping my back and my abdomen on the sides here. Good. Now I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to step back and I'm going to change my swing to swinging forward. Now you want your palms to line up with your forehead when you do this swing and let it drop. If you notice, I rock back between 7-star stance all the way forward into plow oxen. And if you join in at any time at the stream, go ahead and just take a quick couple breaths and then jump in. Now I'm going to switch feet. So I'm going to step back with my left foot, keeping a bend in my knees, step out 7-star, and swing. If you notice, I turn my body a little bit to help initiate the swing. Good. And then let's step back into our lane and go ahead and calm down. All right, the next thing that I want us to do is we're going to go ahead and take our hands. I'm going to take a step forward. We're going to take our hands and we're going to start tapping our fingertips here. What we're doing here is we're waking up different meridian points in our fingers. Then, once we're done tapping, we're going to find the center of our palm here. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to start massaging that meridian point there. Now, once we're done with that side, we're going to go ahead and go to the other side and start massaging. Good. After massaging the meridian points here, now we're going to go ahead and go to the wrist. So I'm going to take my fingers, 3 fingers, and I'm going to line up here, and I'm going to go to my ring finger here. Now my ring finger, you should find a little spot right about there around the tendons, and you should be able to massage that there. Now the meridian points are little points along these meridian pathways that chi flows through. It's all connected, so we want to wake up these points when we first start. And this is just a little bonus. You don't have to do this every time, but it does help the chi flow. And then we're going to go to the other side here. Remember, 3 fingers. You go to the ring finger. You find the little kind of squishy part there, and then you start massaging that spot. Good. Now, if you don't want to do the massaging, what you can do is you can also do a tapping method to hit both sides. So you can tap it this way. This also helps wake up the meridian points. And then once you're done tapping, you do the other side on the back of the wrist here. Good. Now we're going to clap. This also helps wake up all the little points in your hands. And then one big clap, and we're going to rub. Now, this is the one thing that the Karate Kid definitely got right, is a lot of times when you do healing Qigong or healing like Reiki, you have to wake up the meridian points and let the Qi flow. All right, now we should be feeling a little tingly in the hands. That should just be, that could just be your nerves waking up. You could be feeling your Qi. And then down here. All right, now we're ready to begin our Qigong. I'm going to take one more step back. That way I can make sure my hands are in. Here we go. All right, so feet facing forward. What I'm going to do is from here, just standing up like normal, I'm going to tuck my hip by bending my knees. Then I tuck my pelvis forward here. From here, I'm going to extend each vertebrae along my back all the way up to my neck here. And I extend all the way up to my crown chakra. One way to think about that is that there's a string pulling you up and you make a complete straight line of the back. Now from here, what we're going to do is now I also, at my center point here in my chest, I'm going to hollow forward a little bit. So my shoulders end up rounding and I end up making space in my shoulders here. Now I'm going to turn forward. So I hollow here and caving the chest just a little bit. I don't want to be like, what? But we can cave the chest, rounding the back, and then the shoulders round forward here. Now from here, my palms face in, creating a roundness here in my arms also. This is called Wu Ji, otherwise known as emptiness. You can also think of it as eternal potential for movement. Now, when we hit Wu Ji, we want to breathe to our Dantian 3 times at least. Your Dantian is at your navel, 2 inches below and 2 inches behind the navel here. What I picture is kind of like an acorn that is a spiraling turbine of chi. Now we're going to do 3 deep breaths to our Dantian, in through the nose and out through the nose. 2, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. All right, the first Qigong, raising palms forward. We're going to raise our hands forward, nice and slow, kind of like their hands floating on clouds. Once we reach here, we're going to extend our tendons all the way out. And then we pull back by rounding the elbows down, pulling the palms back, that drops the elbows. The palms start to face up, and we pull the elbows back down. The palms start to drop down back to Uji. We do this again. Again, the hands start floating on clouds, nice and soft. Extend the ligaments and retract. And then the palms are like rolling on a big ball, rolling over a round surface. And remember, we're breathing all the way down to the dantian. Again. And think about what you're feeling inside. A lot of people will first start feeling chi kind of on the skin. They'll feel it like a magnetism or a crawling or electricity, some sort of static. Everyone is a little different too. Some people will say that they'll start seeing chi, as in different auras and colors. Let's do two more. While I've never really experienced the vision aspects of chi, like seeing someone's aura, I've absolutely felt other people's chi and my own. One more. The hands floating on clouds, raising. Almost like there's strings being pulled up at the joints. Full extension. Rolling on the ball. Back to Uji. Good. Number 2. We're going to reach out to the sides. Palms facing down. When we get to shoulders, we're going to turn the palms up. When we start to scoop up the ceiling, the heavenly chi, we interlace our fingers, pulling the chi into the crown chakra. And then we stir up the coffee. Pulling down past the third eye, the throat, middle dantian, down the spine, lower dantian, and repeat. Reaching out to the sides, turn the palms up and scoop. Scoop the heavenly chi. Three rotations. Nice and soft movements. And when we do this, think about all the stress just relaxing away. When you find a tension point in your body, think about letting that go. That little bit of tension we want to start to dissipate. Don't worry too much about chi movement. If you do the movement, it will naturally happen. Even in the Tai Chi classics, they say, do not worry about storing chi in only so many words. Now, I'm still studying the Tai Chi classics. I'm not acting like I'm some master of the Tai Chi classics books. Let's do it two more times. And there's multiple interpretations of the Tai Chi classics. past the third eye, connecting the upper dantian down to the middle dantian to the lower dantian. All right, let's do the next movement. We're going to reach out to the sides. Now I'm going to turn my palms forward and scoop forward. Now the shoulders bend, elbows, and we scoop to the middle dantian at the heart, guiding the chi down to the lower dantian. And again, don't think about guiding it down, just do the work. Now, some people may experience some bouncing, some shaking, or some muscle twitching. That's perfectly fine, especially the muscle twitching. What will happen is your body is not used to relaxing. And so when you get really good about doing these with relaxation, you'll relax all the way down to the bone, to where the muscles and tendons connect. When you do that, a lot of times your muscles will start spazzing, which is perfectly fine because they're not used to relaxing down there. Now, the shaking and the bouncing, that could be a couple different theories on that from the Tai Chi world. Some people say it's energy blockages. Some people say it's your energy, just your chi, just without a place to go. And so when you don't discharge, it could just be flowing and just not really having a place to go. But those are all theories. I'm not exactly sure the shaking and bounce. What I do know is that when I do shake or bounce, the chi is flowing very, very heavily. Good. We're going to do this one more time. Now, when we go down, we're going to stop at the lower dantian. Right here. Now, if you've forgotten about having your awareness down here, let's go ahead and regather our awareness to the dantian. Make sure you're breathing all the way down to your navel, 2 inches below and behind your navel. Now, with each breath, we're going to expand and act like we're blowing up a balloon. So when I inhale, the balloon gets bigger. And I exhale and smaller. Each breath kind of gets a little bigger naturally. Remember, we don't want to be like trying to, breathe really big. It should be nice and natural. What Tai Chi and Qigong helps teaches you is that the funnel that we breathe out of or breathe through, we can open that so our breath can get more oxygen with its own natural without having to breathe, longer or deeper. We just naturally start to breathe deeper because we open the pathway. Right, and if you notice, each time the hands start to undulate a little bit more, kind of like a jellyfish. Good, let's do 2 more. Nice and soft movements. Good. From here, and make a chi ball at our heart chakra or our heart. Now I'm going to pull the chi, spreading the taffy or pulling the taffy, and then pushing it back together. Remember, even though we're working all the way up here at the middle dantian, we still have our intention down at the lower dantian at our breath. And if your legs are getting sore at any time, make sure you come up a little higher. You just need to make sure your hip is tucked and that you're extending through the vertebrae. You don't have to get too low. Good. From here, we're going to go ahead and put our left hand on top and bring it back down to our dantian. Now we're going to open up. Left hand is facing down, right hand is up, and we turn over like we're riding the escalator and hold. Let the chi flow up through the foot, up the back of the leg, up to your hips, to the dantian, up the back, through the crown chakra, up to the universe, out through your breath, and back in through your breath, down back through the throat, around your arms, forward through the palms, back through the arms, down through the spine, back to the hips and the dantian, back through the legs to the ground, completing one full circuit. I call it the Chi River. Good. From here, we're going to bring our hands down. We're going to scoop behind our kidneys. Turn our palms up, reach forward, back to riding the escalator. Good. From here, we're going to go right hand on top, left hand on bottom. Now I'm going to pull apart, bringing my right hand up to my solar plex while my left hand drops. And then we press back together. Pull and press. Pull and press. Good. Now let's turn it over. Holding the chi ball back to the dantian. And again, pull and press. Good. Let's hold out the arms. Spread open. Now I have my right arm 45 degrees here, my left arm this direction. With the palm down on my left palm, the right palm is up. Now I'm going to drop my left arm all the way down. While I do that, I turn my right palm over as the left hand comes up. From here, the palms are now facing each other, and I spread the butter. Now my right palm is facing down, left palm is up, and the right palm is going to drop. Start turning the left palm as the right hand comes up, making a chi ball, and I spread the chi ball, extending out through the left and the right palm. Then you start making it all one movement together. The intention goes with your left hand, or the hand that is spreading the butter, as you would say. Nice and relaxed movement, as little muscle as possible. Good. From here, let's go ahead and pull back into riding the escalator. And we're going to scoop our kidneys one more time. And out. Good. From here, we're going to bring our intention back down to the dantian. Now I'm going to go over to my right side. Now I'm going to reach out and rotate all the way around, make an imaginary circle all the way around my lower abdomen. And then around the back and back forward. Now I start off with big movements. As you do this more and more, the movements will start to slowly get smaller, and the internal work will start to happen more. Again, at first, do not worry about guiding the chi. Worry about learning the movements and just doing the movements. As you do them more and more, it will become more body memory will happen. And the chi naturally flows when you do it. The great thing is you don't have to believe in it for it to work. You just have to do it. All right, and then stop on the right side and hold. Now we're going to go to the center and reset. And now over to the left side. From here, I'm going to reach out and around clockwise now. Nice and soft movements, just like we're tying a sash around our abdomen. And then hold. When we get back over to the left, and back to the center. Now we're going to close out our Qigong by making a right hand into a fist. Our left hand is going to make a palm around it. Now we're going to breathe 3 times back to our dantian. Ready? Inhale, 1, and exhale, all the way to the dantian. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale. In a microcosmic orbit, cross our palms. Hands go down, big circle. Turn the palms up and scoop the sky. Now we're going to close out by pulling the palms down, clearing the forehead. Pulling the chi all the way down, but we're not going to get rid of it. What we're going to do is as it goes down here, we're going to make a hollow fist, scooping up. Inhale and exhale, opening the palms. Good. From Wuji, we're going to go ahead and move our feet. Good. It's very important that after you do your Qigong session, especially if you do a longer session like we kind of did right there, that you start moving your feet as blood will start pooling in the feet, which is one reason why we do it for 20 minutes or so. You can do longer sessions, but usually when I start the Qigong, it's usually 20 to 30 minutes, as it's super important to do. All right, let's see. Hello. Yeah, um, this is Tai Chi class, so I'm probably not going to be kicking anything right now. Awesome. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is I want us to work on some cloud hands. But first, I want you to go ahead and take a real quick break. We'll come back in about 30 seconds. I'm just going to grab a quick little sip of water, and then we'll get started on some cloud hands. Probably about 1 minute, 1 minute break. All right. Ooh, good Qigong session. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to start working on some cloud hands now. That way we can do our technique practice. So usually when I teach a Tai Chi class, we first do our Qigong, then we do a technique to really practice, and then we move on to the form. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to be working on cloud hands. Cloud hands can be done a series of different ways depending on the style that you choose. Chin style, Yang style, Wu style. We all have our own different version of cloud hands. So here, what we want to do is we want to start in Ma Bu or horse stance with a single whip here. So from here, one palm out, one hand here. This is our starting spot for cloud hands. And if you notice, I'm not out here. I'm 45 inside the legs here. Now my left hand is going to drop as I drop here. One. As I drop, I'm going to turn, stretching my quad here and closing into this one here. This palm is going to drop and turn here. As it scoops up, the right hand is going to turn and drop down. Now, if you notice, I go shoulder, elbow, palm here. And it doesn't drop until this wrist comes up and touch. It doesn't actually touch, but as it passes here. So when it comes up and pass, this drops and turns. Now I have my mirror to look at here. And I turn. As this turn, this hand drops here. Turn. And then I stretch the quad, turning this foot here. I'm sorry, I missed one move. When I go here, I'm going to open this hip here. Open. Now this hip turns, closing the hip here. Now I palm with the left hand as the right hand scoops up here. As it hits, the hand drops now, going here. Now I can turn, palm. If you notice, since I do Wu style, there is a little bit of a lean. Now I'm doing Wu style pretty low for what Wu style is considered, as I do a lot of Kung Fu, so it's just a natural tendency for me to get a little bit lower. But you can absolutely do it up here. This is definitely very doable. Where I turn, turn. One thing to think about is when I turn, I want to move the foot first. So I come up on my heel and rotate. Then this foot is going to rotate to here. We are also opening and closing our qua here. So it's like a rubber band. It pulls while this one closes. And then when I open up this side here, we start pulling and closing. Um, Now it's best to practice slow. I get a little excited and I start going a little fast because of my Kung Fu training. But we want to make sure that we do this nice and slow first. So let's start from single whip again. Hand is going to drop. Turn my right foot, then my left foot. Hand scoops up. Now my right hand can drop and I look at my left hand. As my right hand drops, I open my left hip, close my right hip, palm forward with the left hand, right hand scoops up. Now I look at my right hand as my left palm drops. Open the right hip, close the left hip, palm with the right hand as the left hand scoops up. And repeat. Turn. So that is cloud hands. So how do we end cloud hands, right? So it's cool to do the movement here. So we want to end cloud hands. When we get our movement going, we're going to end the same way that we started. So we're going to come down. As we go to our right side, when this hand comes up, now we're going to brush and make a palm, or I'm sorry, a hook here. So we make the hook. I open up with the left hip. This time I don't close the right hip. I keep it open. For Wu style, we go into Mabu, horse stance, or single whip. So I turn open. Once I'm here, I'm going to put my intention over to my left hip, and then I palm forward here. So we start here. We do our cloud waving. And you can hook, pull, palm. Oh, I'm a little too big. Right about there. And that's cloud waving. So you can also do it standing up here. This is perfectly fine. Do what you can do that your muscles are still relaxed. But you want to make sure that you keep true to a little bit of the Wu style lean, no matter if you're doing Wu style, keep to the Wu style lean. If you do Young style, of course, you can play with the Wu style and do the lean as you see fit, but always listen to your instructor. Your instructor always has a plan for you, and you don't want to mess it up because some guy on YouTube is showing you his Wu style Tai Chi. Always listen to your instructor, your teacher. This is just sharing, and if you like to learn from me, then that's really cool too. All right, so cloud hands one more time, but I want to show you a walking version. So for walking, you can start in your single whip here. Now I start with my normal cloud hands here. Now when I get here, I will shift my weight forward and I release the back leg, moving forward into a low stance here, or kind of a squat here. Now, when I need to open, I open by turning my hip open here. Now, when I turn, I palm and I step out into my lane. And then I repeat. And then you can step out, hook, single whip. So when you do the walking, you can practice it a very long way if you want to go sideways here, right? I can go one and start practicing. Make sure when we do this, we open the hip, then we turn and step out. So that's cloud waving. Again, like I said, you can just do it here too. This is perfectly fine. In fact, in our 13 golden postures form, we do it in place. Speaking of 13 golden postures, let's go ahead and get to the form. That way you can start learning the next couple moves of the Wu Style's 13 golden postures. If you missed last stream, we did a stream for Tai Chi and Qigong where I taught the first three golden postures. Go back and look at that if you want to, not right now. If you want to learn the first three moves, and it might make a little more sense once you revisit this afterwards. All right. So let's go ahead and review the first three moves of 13 golden postures. Now, 13 golden postures is a taolu, otherwise known as a form of set movements to teach the Wu style 13 golden postures. It is the most, I don't want to call it the most essential, but it is super important to learn these 13 golden postures first. As each form, it gets progressively added on to these first postures. So it's a great first step in Wu style Tai Chi, and you kind of get the essence and feel of Wu style Tai Chi, a taste of it. All right, so I say so much. I say so much. So I'm stepping here. We're gonna start with our feet at an angle here. I'm gonna start up, shoulders rounded, but hip tucked. Now I'm gonna squat. And I shift my weight to the right side, raising my left heel, stepping out toe to heel, and I shift over to my left. Now all my weight is here, causing me to be able to lift my toe up, turn my foot forward, and then I can shift back to the center 50-50 here. That whole time, we want to keep our arms here. Let's do that one more time. All right. Standing up, ready position, sink, weight to the right, left foot down, shift to the left, turn the foot forward, shift to the center. Now we're going to do the first Qigong we did, but we extend up a little bit first, and then the hands raise up forward. Nice and slow. Then we extend out through the ligaments all the way out, and then we roll back, pulling back down, rolling over the ball. And as we do this, we squat a little lower into our stance. Now I shift over to the right as the hands come up, left heel raises, I kick out, 7-star stance. Now I turn the foot. As the foot turns, the right hand is going to turn, or I'm sorry, the left hand is going to turn, and I push forward into plow oxen. From here, I release the back leg, turn, 7-star stance, forward. Good. So that's all that we covered last time. So let's do that one more time. We're gonna, let's run it one more time, and then I'll add a couple more moves. Sink, weight to the right. Left foot comes up, press down, shift to the left leg. Fix the right foot, shift to the center. Stand up a little bit, hands come up. Extend and pull back. Hands come down, and we squat a little bit. Shift to the right, hands come out. 7-star stance. On guard. Turn the foot and the palm and throw over the knee. Turn. 7-star stance. Good. All right, let's add a couple more moves. So the next move is placing the bird in the cage to single whip. Pluck the peacock's feather and then single whip. So here, See, boom, 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 press, turn here. So the next move, what we want to do is we're going to put our foot all the way down flat here. As I move flat, I sink down into what's called neutral stance. This is 50-50. This is before I get all the way into my plow oxen push. But before we get to that, foot goes down. So from here, foot goes down and the hand turns in like we're looking at ourselves in the mirror. Then I shift forward into 50-50 and I turn my hips and my quad to face 45 degrees here. So one. Then from here, I extend out through the back leg. As I extend out, the hand is going to come out and reach out here too. We don't want to go too far because that's too much. We want to keep our posture here. If your legs are too tired to go too big, go small frame. Small frame is what Wu Style Tai Chi is. So from here, I extend out 45 here. Now from here, I'm going to rotate. And the way I rotate is by turning here the quad. I close my quad here and stretch here. This causes the entire torso from one straight line here to turn here, causing this motion here to throw. Then from here, my belly is all the way turned as much as I can go this way, facing here. 45 outside of my knee. I'm going to keep my belly loaded there as the hand comes up and I pull back into 7-star. And I keep this turned. Now the hand is going to come out here as the foot turns. This is still loaded. It's going to push out. As it pushes out, the belly's going to turn, releasing here. Release, and we hook. And if you notice, this is where I start to lift my heel because I shift my weight into the right foot. And I can step back. I hook, open, single whip. Good. That is a lot. So let's break it down again. I know that was a lot. I gave a lot of information there on the turn, but we're going to do it again, so don't worry. Here we go. So we just did the push. Now I turn, 7-star stance here. First thing I do, foot goes down and the palm faces forward here, creating a little circle here. We want to keep this roundness here in front of us. Palm here. Now as I move forward, I extend through the back leg. The back leg, when I do that, I open right here and palm out 45. One, turn, throwing them over our leg. Now I keep my belly rested, pull back, 7-star. Let's do that again. Let's do that whole move a couple of times. That way we can drill that, and then we'll add the palm into single whip. So we just turned 7-star stance here. Foot drops. We look and we move through 50-50 or neutral stance. Now I'm going to extend forward. At the same time, the leg pushes back here. Boom. Now I'm going to turn on my torso here and on the hip here. One. Now I pull back. 7-star. Good. Let's do that again. So from here. One. Extend out. Turn. Pull back. Good. 2 more times. From here. Let me fix my foot. Ooh. Shaky from yesterday. Pull. Extend. Turn. Pull back. Good. Now I'm going to do it a little bigger. That way I can initiate a little bit more lean here. Because in our Wu style, Shanghai Wu style, you'll see more of a lean forward into our pushes. That's just because we do it a little bit smaller frame too. And so when we push, this isn't enough, right? If I'm pushing someone, that wouldn't be enough here. I need to go, especially if I'm in a smaller frame. But we also don't want to break certain, uh, certain, not absolutes, but we don't want to break certain postures too much because then it breaks the whole thing down. So, all right, let's do it again from the beginning to that move. So we start, I'm going to start right here because I think I keep going too far that way. Toes facing open, sink to the right. Heel comes up, toe drops, shift over to your left. Now, since the weight is over to my left, fix my foot forward, and I'm in Wu Ji. Now, raising 5 energies, opening Tai Chi, hands come up, reach forward and extend, roll back, and push down. Shift the weight to the right, hands come up, heel comes up, brush the ankle, 7-star stance with the erect palm. Now we turn the palm and the foot, and we push forward, throwing them over the knee. Turn. Right heel comes up, brush the ankle as the right palm comes out to erect palm here. Place the bird in the cage. Turn the palm up as the foot goes flat. This is the new part. Push forward. Turn. Pull back. 7-star. Good, let's do the next move. I'm going to turn my foot forward 45 degrees here. My elbow is dropped. I'm going to push out inside the leg. And then once I get here, that belly that I had loaded, I'm going to release and turn out here. Hook, raise the right or left foot, step out. Open up into Wu style single whip. Good. Let's do that again. Let's go from turn here, right before place the bird in the cage. Pull in. Place the bird in the cage. Turn. Pull back. All right, let's do the whole thing one more time here, and then we'll take a second and take a quick break and jump back in it. All right, so toes facing 45. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna start a little further back, make sure there's plenty of room. Right about here. Toes 45. Sink, weight to the right. Step out to the left. Raise the palms forward. Extension, pull back. Sink to the right. 7-star stance erect palm. Push. Turn. Place the bird in the cage. Up the peacock. Single whip. Good, that's awesome. So that might be a lot for a lot of first timers. That's okay. Make sure you go back and take the details from the first video I did, the first stream that we did just a couple days ago. Make sure you like and subscribe as we're going to do more and more Tai Chi, more and more free lessons are coming. The good thing is that we're sharing Tai Chi with the world. I want to expose the world more to Wu Style Tai Chi. So I'm going to go ahead and do the full form ones. That way you can see the full 13 postures in its entirety. We also have tons of videos online that you can take a look at and see the other Wu Style Tai Chi, Kung Fu, all the stuff that we do. So make sure you subscribe. But here's the full Wu Style 13 golden postures, as best as I can do in the frame that I'll go sideways. That way it's, yeah, I think I have to go sideways. Right about here. All right, that's the 13 golden postures, including the brush knee palms, the playing the lute, block punch, double palm. I love Tai Chi. Tai Chi, I accredit my sobriety, my my better understanding and control of my ADHD, truthfully, to Qigong and Tai Chi. I believe it saved my life. I was in a really dark spot when I first really dived deep into Tai Chi and Qigong. So I really hope that you find some sort of value in your practice, no matter what you do. Stay stay engaged. Find what makes you passionate and do it with passion. Uh, Me with ADHD, martial arts is my life. I love it. It keeps me engaged. So I call it the Gomez effect, right? You want to do everything that you can as much with as much passion as Gomez Adams has for his wife, his trains, his family, his sword play. So Gomez, whatever you're going to do, just go out there and do it with as much passion and crush it. All right. Well, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all's day. Thank you for joining us on Wu Style Tai Chi. We'll do another class probably on Sunday. All right. Hope y'all have a great day. If you want, you can bow. Take care.